welcome back to Resin Rockers. I am bringing you another fun resin art tutorial, and today we are doing something really fun for the holidays. This is our Ghost Top Candy Corn Ombre pen. We're going to make this with UV resin, and I'm going to show you how to do it step by step, so let's go. All right, for this project, here are the supplies you're going to need. I'm using a MagicCure lamp with the magnetic tray, so we get a 360 cure. We're using 3 Resin Rockers microfine glitters. We're using Push-Up Sherbet, Yellow Submarine, and Pearl River. We're using the Skim Coat UV resin today. This is perfect for pens. And we're using one of Resin Rockers pen blanks, and I'm going to show you how to disassemble and reassemble that. We're using some finger cots. I prefer nitrile. We're using a 1/4 inch dowel rod with a little bit of painter's tape on there. We're going to top it off with some frosting quick drip UV resin by Resin Rockers. I'm going to use a glitter dusting brush for my ombre. Your hands-free options, this is my #1 go-to. This is awesome because you can spin it under your lamp, or you can use one of these crafting clamps. Actually, 2 will do better to hold up the dowel rod. And then we're gonna need some sandpaper. This is wet dry sandpaper at a 220 grit. Okay, so let's go ahead and take our pen out of the package here. We're going to pull gently on the clip end. This is gonna allow you to disassemble the barrel from the top portion of the pen. We're going to set that aside, and we're going to take the bottom part out, and we're going to set that aside. It's just that easy. This is where you'll reassemble right here where the clip will go, and I'll show you how to do that as well. But now you have a free floating barrel, so let's go ahead, take our dowel rod. We want to put the pen onto the dowel rod just below the tape so that it's nice and snug. We want it to be nice and snug on there. Next, we're going to sand our barrel, and we're going to roughen it up just enough to get that resin to really stick to that barrel. When you have a smooth surface and you're putting something smooth on it, it's less likely to stick really well. And we want this resin to really pull that glitter in and keep it on the pen as we cure it. So we're going to grab a paper towel, and we're just going to very lightly go from top to bottom and sand all the way around. You don't want to go too hard, not too much pressure, because you don't want to remove the white. We like the white. It gives us a nice base without having to spray paint the pen. So now I'm going to make sure I got the top and bottom real well. Then I'm going to take a little bit of alcohol spray. This is just plain 91% alcohol, and clean that barrel. And the reason I do this over a paper towel is so that I don't get dust at my workstation. All right, so now we've got this really nice clean barrel to work with. Now we're going to resin and ombre glitter our pen barrel. So what I like to do to keep my glitter nice and organized and recycle what I don't use is I use deli paper. Deli paper is really nice because it has a wax back. So if you happen to get resin on it, it's not going to seep through. So what I like to do is one color on each piece of deli paper so I can easily put it right back into the container when I'm done. So let's go ahead and do it. Okay, we are first going to take our Skim Coat here and one of our finger cots. I'm going to put this on my finger here, and we are going to do one line of resin. Skim Coat goes a really long way, so you don't need to use a lot. We're just going to do one line, and we're going to spread it evenly throughout the pen base, making sure you get all the way to the top, all the way to the bottom. Try not to get it into this little clip divot too much, because we don't want to make it harder to put that pen back together. So I usually go around in a circle on the top and bottom, and then I gently go from top to bottom in one direction, like this, until it's evenly coated all the way around. Now we're going to ombre glitter our pen. The top is where the little clip divot is, so we're going to start there. We're going to start with our Pearl River, and I'm just going to gently tap on the glitter. We want to go heavy at the top, and once we get down more toward the middle, I'll show you how we're going to ombre. So we're just gently tapping it on. This is such a pretty color. I love this. This is our top selling white glitter. It's so beautiful. All right, we're going to angle our pen down a little bit and we're going to lightly tap. This is how we're going to get that ombre effect, mixing those two colors together. Give your pen a little bit of a tap, and then we're going to fold this over and move on to the next color, which is orange. This is the push-up Sherbet. So we're gonna do the same thing. We're going to angle our pen down and just lightly sprinkle so that it goes into the Pearl River very slightly. And then we're gonna go heavy into the middle. So go ahead and tap heavy, give it a couple spins there. And then once you feel like you've got heavy on the middle, we're gonna turn it the opposite direction and just lightly tap so that it just trickles down and barely touches. And that's how we're gonna get that nice ombre effect. Then we're going to move on to the yellow. We're going for yellow submarine here. So we're gonna start at the top and we're gonna go heavy at the top. And then we're going to ombre down so that it just goes right into that orange. And you get the perfect little combination there. This is gonna look so cute. And you've got this wonderful, beautiful ombre. So here's what it looks like. So pretty. Now we're going to slide our dowel rod into our little helping hand holder, and you'll be allowed to spin the barrel if you don't have a 360 cure lamp. That's what I love about this little tool. But we're going right into the MagicCure with the mirrored base. And we're gonna go 90 seconds at 48 watts. That's full wattage on this. And what I'll usually do is just spin it a couple times while it's in there, but we wanna let it go those full 90 seconds. And while I'm letting that cure, I'm going to go ahead and put my glitter back in the jars. All right, our pen is wonderfully cured. It's perfect. So now what we're going to do is put another coat of Skim Coat on. So we're gonna put our finger cut on. We're gonna take this out of our little helping hand and going to do 2 lines of Skim Coat on this one, because when you have glitter on your pen, it is going to absorb more resin. So we're going to do half like this and spread it on gently. And then on the other side of the pen, we're gonna do another line of resin. And we're just going to make sure that everywhere on the pen is evenly coated. And once you can tell that there is resin everywhere on the pen, then we're going to do the same motion where we go from top to bottom, all the way around to make sure it's nice and even. And it feels great. So we're going to turn it a couple times, let it level out. It's looking very pretty. And then what I'm going to do is I am going to put it right back into my helping hand. And it's going to go right back into the MagicCure 48 watts for 90 seconds. All right, now what we are going to do is sand this pen down. You can see right now it's nice and shiny. The way that we want to achieve a really nice glass-like finish that has no bumps is to sand this all the way down until it's completely dull. So I typically like to do this over a sink with running water because I use wet, dry sandpaper. But for the sake of this live, I'm just going to show you the 2 methods that I do right here. So the first thing that you want to do is get your pen nice and wet. This is water. Don't use alcohol. Make sure it's water only. And you can just start sanding your pen to get any big pieces that might have been on your pen off. Then what you can do is fold your sandpaper over like this, hold the pen at the top, and just start sanding it from top to bottom. If you notice it's starting to get dusty, add more water. So this is one method. You can also do a sanding block. That helps, but if you are someone who is doing a lot of pens at once and you want to knock them all out at the same time and save you a lot of time, then I'm going to show you the other method that I typically use. This is the other method that I use when I'm doing a lot of pens to save time. I put the dowel rod right into my drill. I tighten it up. I grab my sandpaper like this, and I will spray the water right into my sandpaper. And then I will put it right where my pen is and hold the sandpaper and slowly sand the pen in and out of the sandpaper. Once your pen is completely sanded, we're gonna spray it with water, or you can rinse it under the sink, either one. And we just wanna make sure that we've got all that dust off of there. And we want to make sure before we put our final coat on that it is completely dry. Now, the one thing I want you to notice is how dull it is. This is a trust the process kind of project. So you want to make sure there's no shine on here. If you notice any bumps, then you definitely want to sand those down. If you notice any shine with a bump, sand that down. If there's a little bit of shine, like you can see right here, that's okay as long as it's smooth to the touch. So I've got a nice dull finish on my pen. I'm gonna let it dry for a few minutes and then we'll put the final coat on. All right, our pen barrel is nice and dry. We're going to go ahead and put it right back onto our dowel rod. I'm going to put on another finger cut, and we're going in with a final coat of Skim. And we're going to just do one line all the way down and spread it on just like we did that initial coat. It's nice and smooth, so it's not going to require much resin. So we're just going to spread it all the way around. We're gonna make sure we get the top and the bottom. And then once I notice that resin is on the pen everywhere, we're just gonna go from top to bottom all the way down just to make sure it's nice and smooth. You got a nice shine on here. Looks nice and level, looks great. Now I'm gonna go ahead and put it back into my helping hand, and we're going to put it right back into the MagicCure for 90 seconds at 48 watts. All right, look how pretty it is. It's nice and shiny, exactly how we want it. We're going to take it out of our little helping hand here. Make sure you let it cool for a while before you do anything else to it. You don't want to have fingerprints on it or anything. If it still feels a little rubbery, that's normal with Skim Coat. I usually let my pens set for about 10 to 12 hours before I ship them to anyone, just to make sure they reach that full cure hard state. All right, so what we're gonna do now, I've let this sit for a while. I am going to remove this from the barrel a little bit. I want to make sure that it's not stuck. If it is stuck, you can use one of our tools called flush cutters, and you can gently chip away at the bottom without ruining any of the glitter on that pen barrel. So this is a great tool to have. Another great tool to have is a deburring tool, and I use that a lot to clean the inside of my barrel. If I have any resin that has gotten into the barrel, it has a nice swiveled edge, so it's really easy to just kind of peel that resin away from the top. That way you have a nice clean edge when you go to put this pen back together. We want it to be nice and pretty. So I do this to both sides just to make sure that I don't have any resin that's going to prevent my pen from working properly. Perfect. All right, so now that that's done, we are going to go ahead and reassemble our pen, and then I'm going to show you how to do the little ghost top with some quick drip UV resin. So let's go ahead and grab the part with the clip, and we're going to take clip end up first, and we are going to place our barrel right over that so that the clip will line up with that little slit. And then we are just going to gently push down until it clicks, just like that. Then we're going to take the bottom of our pen and put it into the bottom of the barrel and just give it a light press. And now our pen is put together and it looks great. So let's go ahead and do our drip. So the first thing we're going to do is we're using the Frosting Quick Drip. This is our white UV resin. It's really, really thick. It's formulated for drips, so it works really, really well. We want to stay away from the clip when it comes to the drip. So we are going to start right here, and we're going to do a thick line all the way around from one edge to the other of the clip. And I'm going to add just a little bit more to the middle. And then I'm going to start tapping my pen, tapping it down, and that is what is going to start this drip effect. So you want to just kind of let it do its thing, carry to the bottom here. You can add more if you want more of a drip, but I usually just kind of let it take its time so I can see where I would want to add more. We don't want to cover up all of the pearl river because that's a big part of the candy corn, so it's really cute. So if you want to add more, just add a little bit more to the top there and continue letting it drip. And if you want to speed up the drip a little bit, you can use a lighter and you can actually heat up the resin a little bit all the way around and it'll kind of speed that drip up. But you want to make sure you're holding it upright. Once you have the drip where you want it, which I almost do, it's getting there, then you want to set it with a UV lamp. So you can do it with your MagicCure, or if you have a little pocket lamp. I usually like the pocket lamp. You'll have to watch our channel because something good is coming. So keep an eye out for the holiday season. We are going to set it with this small little UV light, and then I'm going to put it in the MagicCure with the clip down to finish out the cure. And I'm just gonna put it in for 120 seconds at 48 watts. All right, so now our ghost top is done. It looks so cute. We're gonna go ahead and add a face to this to make it even more fun. And the best way to do that is we are going in with the Black Cat Quick Drip. And the reason this is really nice is because it is very, very thick. And because we're only doing a very small amount, we don't want it to run. So this is going to make it very easy to do. So I'm going to pick up a little bit of this Black Cat with my pointed silicone brush, and we're just gonna make 2 little dots for the eyes. And you don't need much. And then we're gonna do a little bit bigger area for the little screamy mouth there. Just like that. Once you have the UV resin on there, we're going in with Black Magic, which is just a black holographic glitter. And we're just gonna dust the top of this just a little bit so that it picks up the glitter. Just like that. And then we're going to put it back in the MagicCure and cure it at 48 watts for 120 seconds. All right, now that it's done curing, we're going to take our dusting brush here and we are just gonna dust that excess glitter off of our little ghosty guy. And what I do is pinch the brush a little bit here so I can get inside those little tiny crevices to kind of loosen it up. There we go. And now we have 2 little ghosty pens. And the fun thing is you can make them with different faces. You can make them smiling, you can make them angry, you can give them eyebrows if you want to, all kinds of fun stuff. But these are so much fun to make. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial, and we will be back with another fun resin art tutorial soon. Bye.